why the Jedi sent Obi-Wan Kenobi to fight General Grievous instead of, let's say, anyone else like Anakin Skywalker or Mace Windu, for example. Well, the decision was unanimous, however confirmed by the leader of the council, Yoda, and Mace Windu themselves. When Obi-Wan asked the Jedi Master why he was chosen to confront the leader of the droid army, the notorious Jedi killer of the galaxy, Master Windu said this to him. "But surely, Master Windu," Obi-Wan had to say, "you, with the power of Vapad, or Yoda's mastery of Ataru." Mace Windu had almost smiled. "I created Vapad to answer my weakness. It channels my own darkness into a weapon of the light. Master Yoda's Ataru is also an answer to weakness, the limitation of reach and mobility imposed by his stature and his age. But for you, what weakness does Soresu answer?" Blinking, Obi-Wan had been forced to admit he'd never actually thought of it that way. "That is so like you, Master Kenobi," the Korun Master said, shaking his head. "I am called a great swordsman because I invented a lethal style. But who is greater, the creator of a killing form or the master of the classic form? I'm very flattered you would consider me a master, but really, not a master. The master," Mace had said. "Be who you are, and Grievous will never defeat you." Now, for many you might find this confusing. Well, that's why I'm here. Soresu was a lightsaber style, and it was the one Obi-Wan used. According to Mace, he was the master of it. So you're probably wondering, what's so great about Soresu? Well, it was a lightsaber fighting style that focused on the defense, mainly. It was great for blaster fire and all that, but mainly defense was what it focused on. Now, many might think that the best defense is a great offense, but the same can be said the other way around. This is how Obi-Wan beat Anakin and how he beat Grievous. His defense was so masterful that he was able to find an opening in Grievous's famous quadruple lightsaber spinning attack. His patience and expertise was what made him unmatched compared to any other Jedi Master in this form. Now, yes, Mace could have gone to fight him, and honestly, he would have defeated him much easier, just as we saw in the Clone Wars, how his force powers were enough to crush Grievous's robotic chest plate and his lungs in the process, which is why he always coughs. However, what kind of test would that have been for Obi-Wan if every time a matter needed to be dealt with by aggressive negotiations, the stronger Jedi of the Council would just attend to it? The Jedi were only as strong as their weakest link, and Obi-Wan, to much surprise, was one of the naturally weakest Jedi in the Temple. He was so unbelievably weak in the Force compared to those like Anakin or Mace who were born with natural talent. However, there's a quote I always liked, and it says, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." And that's exactly the case here. Obi-Wan studied the form so well, practiced for so many years, and failed so many times that he became known as the master of Soresu, and therefore was the perfect warrior to send to Utapau and deal with Grievous for the last time.